Welcome back to another episode of Harmonious at Lunch, the show that fuels your business success. I'm Brandon Gano, your host and guide through the world of harmonious business growth. Today, we're unlocking powerful strategies with industry experts to help your business thrive. If you're a business owner, entrepreneur, or executive, you are in the right place. Join me and our incredible guests today on the journey to clarity, growth, and success. It is time to revolutionize your approach to business. Let's dive in with another episode of Harmonious at Lunch. Welcome back into some more bite-sized business advice. We got an exciting episode lined up today, and we're going to be talking to the ladies in the audience. We're going to talk about empowering women to step into entrepreneurship, take back control of their time and their finances. And it's a cool topic, one that I'm personally passionate about. I have a wife who has taken this journey as well. And it's always fun to see people step out into entrepreneurship for the first time. So I have a guest with me today who's going to break this down, share her journey, and maybe give us some ideas on a path for you. So Jeanette Lowry, welcome to the show. Thanks for being here.
Thanks, Brandon, for having me. I'm excited to be here.
So tell me, what got you started in the world of entrepreneurship? I know it was some time ago now. You've been doing this for a while, but go back to the beginning. What made you take the leap at first?
Well, as a 63-year young grandmother of two young granddaughters, one is less than a week old and the other is almost 3, I really had just a total nag for entrepreneurship when I was 9 years old. So I grew up in a house of 6 kids, parents, mom home, dad working. He started his own insurance business. And as that business developed, I started seeing that our lifestyle started to improve. And based on his work ethic, et cetera, and recurring income, which comes in through insurance businesses, he had more time for us kids. And I was a full-time gymnast. I grew up in the gym through college. So he was able to be at my meets when a lot of, parents couldn't be because they had 2 jobs or what have you back in the 90s. So I was introduced to the concept of residual income in my youth. And I knew then there was no way I would be able to work for anybody else who is going to dictate my worth financially, my time, how I spend it during the day, and close me into their box, their system. I'm much more, entrepreneurial than that. So I was introduced by accident. I call myself an accidental entrepreneur with a girlfriend who just introduced me to some skincare products back in 1990, 34 years ago. Could not get them in retail stores, bought them through a company online. We didn't have internet at the time, but through the phone. And it changed my skin. It truly changed my skin. And people noticed, I was teaching fitness classes at the time. And I had one young son who was 2. And I went, why wouldn't I share this? So as people asked, I told them they got their own accounts. And one thing led to another. Within a year, I was making $500 a month. And, that was a nice supplement back then. But when I got my first $10,000 check, I went, they must have sent it to the wrong mailbox. I didn't understand how this company worked. I didn't understand the money, anything. Bottom line, fast forward, I have been a student of learning leveraged income and markets and companies for the past 30 plus years. And it allowed me in 7 years after I launched the business. So by 1997, early 98, I was able to step out of that day-to-day completely, 100%. And those businesses, those individuals that had their own businesses, their own consumer branches, continued on without me because everybody is in for their businesses. And I was able to teach the pattern of duplication prior to that. So I went through a divorce, unexpected divorce, and I had 2 young kids at the time. And I look at women today, Brandon, and my heart is sad for these working moms who want to be home, most of them, and their kids want them home. So when my kids left the nest post college, I said, it's time to get out of retirement. And when COVID hit, that just really hit me, in the eyes. So came out of the 2020, launched a business, went through a bunch of coaching, mentorships, masterminds to get my, online clarity. And I've set up an academy now that walks women through everything from mindset to paradigm shifting to healthy aging, eating good nutrition, to the income. How do you produce leveraged income versus the hourly wage that 99% of Americans earn? So,
Yeah, that's really cool. I like how you you caught that bug early, it sounded like, and then you just
mhm.
you never looked back.
Nope.
But tell me, in that first version of you prior to retirement,
Mhm.
what are some of the things that you learned about growing a business, and doing it intentionally? Because that's, from
Yes.
your journey, which I've heard and seen a number of people in my own personal life try to take a similar path, and it doesn't work, it doesn't fizzle out. You obviously had success with it, and you grew that to residual income, to more passive
Mhm.
income, which is a beautiful
Mhm.
thing. So what are some of
Mhm.
those key principles that you picked up on, that you're now teaching other people when they go to
Yeah.
start a business?
That's such a great question, Brandon, because, we all have our own gifts that we're innately born with. And it's just about figuring out how to use those. So when I first became an accidental entrepreneur, as I call myself, stumbled into this thing that created this income, I had researched 5 things that I knew based on, my education. I'm a college graduate, so I had a little know-how, but we didn't have the internet back then. So you've got to look at the company. What is their track record? What is their, value proposition, trends, and timing? What are the trends that are growing, not decreasing? Like I wouldn't go into vinyl records back in 1990, even. I would have advanced to, MP3s or whatever. So you've got to look at the trends and the timing. Is it a market that is growing? Are the products in demand? And are they consumable monthly? Is it a one time buy, or is it something that every single month when you run out, you get a reorder or you reorder for yourself? And food seems to be one of those things that is recurring. So, and skincare, those are the two elements that I've always worked with. You've got to look at the compensation. So I've taken a deep dive into many compensation structures, looking for that structure that paid upfront for, exchanging time for money, as well as pivoted into the back end recurring income. Because a lot of people need money up front, and you can sell big money and free time to everybody. But the reality is, you've got to have an infrastructure within a company that actually has a model set up to pay you that way. So learning the compensation is crucial. So company, trends, timing, compensation, and fifth, who is surrounding you in this journey? What is the community? Is a community of like-mindedness? Are they of the same value system as myself? Are these people I want to grow old with? Is there a support structure and training inside the window of building the business? And when I get 5 yeses, 10 out of 10s, it's all in. So that's those are really crucial points to look at. And those are pretty basic. You'd be surprised at how many people don't look at all those, 5 elements of a company. So
Yeah, I mean, even my first thought is like yes, they sound basic for sure.
mhm,
Um, but I'm also trying to put myself in the shoes of someone who would be kind of walking into that for the first time, and they
mhm,
probably wouldn't think to ask any of them, hence your
no,
academy. But also, once you do hear about them, they they would be immediately overwhelmed with, oh, like, wow, that's a lot of things to take into account. Like, this is much bigger than I probably thought it was at first. So what does that kind of shift look like, or what is that that pill swallowing moment look like for people when they realize, like, okay, this is not as easy as I thought it was going to be, but it's something maybe a whole lot bigger?
You know, it's that phrase, you can't eat an elephant in one bite, right? So it is broken down step by step by step. I didn't understand any of that for the first 2 years. I just knew I put the products on my face and my hair and my body, and things changed. I put nutrition in my body. My muscles got bigger. My metabolism sped up. I wasn't holding that belly fat that most, 40, 50, 60-year-olds hold. And as a 63-year-old grandmother now and a mom of 2 adult kids, I've always wanted a healthy lifestyle. I've lived it. I worked it through gymnastics and teaching. But today I really feel compelled to give that as part of my business model to others. It's like freebie information. And I work as a coach to help them through those mental blocks. It's all about paradigms. It's all about starting at the basic level, which is learning about what stops you, what runs you, what controls your day, and just backstepping into finding out why you've never taken on entrepreneurship, perhaps because everybody wants time freedom. Everybody would love to have more money in the bank by the end of the month than they're, able to do today. But what stops people is really, that's a starting point. And this has evolved for me over time, which is why I took 2 years to really focus in on the step by step and building my training program on top of each other. So it's, a cumulative, and it adds and builds to their success.
Yeah, that's a good way to look at it. I'm curious too, thinking about people diving into entrepreneurship with this model. I know the stats behind traditional business, but how many people? What are the percentages behind people who quit? I'm always curious to know that.
Well, here's how I look at it. It's like any business model. It's the 80-20 rule. 80% of the people will be, average or just consumers. They're not going to do anything with the business, but man, they love the products. And I build my, recurring income on helping people get what they need through their product orders. But then there's 20% of that. 15% will be part-timers, 15% part-time. Hey, if they can make enough money to cover their food fix or their nutrition fix every month, they're thrilled, eat for free, as I say. But then there's other people that would love to, add another $1,000 to their weekly or monthly account, because it would make a huge difference in what sports they can pay for their kids, or a vacation fund to set up. Or my passion in my financial model is teaching women financial literacy. Are you investing? Are you earning return on your investment? What investment vehicles are you using? So this is all part of my freebies built into my program that became really important for me as I journeyed into this entrepreneurship. But if you can start a business for under $1,000 and have it, become a 7-figure income stream, why wouldn't you at least put some products in your body and see, with 100% money back guarantee, if they do what they say they're going to do? That's my question to people. I mean, it's that simple, truly.
Yeah, no, that's interesting, and I like that. I like that. That's the approach, right? I mean, it's very obvious. It's take it or leave it. It's there for you.
Absolutely.
What do you see in that small percentage of people who do go on to create those bigger businesses, like yourself? I mean, what are the whether it's personality traits, or I don't think it's knowledge, because the knowledge is available for everybody, but what do you see in them that causes them to actually get to the level of success that you've seen?
I love this question, Brandon, because I didn't know what I had within me. I just knew at a very young age, I was independent. I was bossy. I was the little mom with, 5 siblings that were younger than me, one brother who was older by a year, but born mentally challenged. And so I became the little mom or the helper mom alongside my mother, who went through divorce herself. But my dad was my inspiration for business. So I think your family unit you grew up in, or those people that you've surrounded yourself by, there's a seed planted for all of us that have that burning desire for more. But sometimes it has to be uncovered. And it gets uncovered by, putting yourself in situations, mentorships, what have you, with people that you would call 5 or above. Surround yourself with those people that are higher than you are on the economic food chain or the lifestyle food chain, or you desire their quality of life. Those are the people you want to hang out with. So there's a lot. It's lifestyle. It's day-to-day lifestyle learning. But I think we all have a seed planted in us, and it's those people that will, number one, put their dreams on paper. Visualization, mindset, all of that is crucial. And 2, they have to have a big why. Why? And I ask this question, I dig way deep. Why do you want to be an entrepreneur? Why do you want to make, $5,000 a month at home? What are you going to do with that? Where's that going? What would that do for your life? How would that change your family? So I keep asking questions that really get to the bottom line of what their desire is. And if it's not built on solid foundation, it's sinking sand. Those are the people that go away. But they'll probably continue using the products because they get results. So
yeah, that's interesting. I mean, that's like business 101, right? If you start your business just because and you don't have a clear why or clear foundation, it's going to fail at some point.
Absolutely, 100%. And the sad thing with traditional business is 90% of them are gone in the first 10 years, 50%, 5 years. And think about the blood, sweat, and tears and the money that was invested in a traditional business, the capital investment and the overhead. And all of that for what? So virtual entrepreneurship is about partnership, leverage, letting the company, the billion-dollar company, do all the heavy lifting for us. And we just work in as word of mouth advertisers. That's what we get paid to do, is network those people that are looking for a better way to live, a healthier body, or more money in the bank.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. I love that your passion is helping women make more money and stay home. That's so cool. So for the ladies listening, if they want to learn more, check out what you have to offer and check out your academy too. Where should they go?
Well, I'm launching a 4-week boot camp on the 17th of June. So in a week or week and a half. So I'll be launching a 4-week boot camp, which really is a great way for women to at least tiptoe into the experience of my teaching model and learn online. They can launch their business, get results, and earn money within 4 weeks. So that's how I like to stair step, especially skeptics, into working with me, because I don't bite. But JeanetteLowry.com is my website. There are free resources right on top of the tab. And, you can download anything from learning about recurring income versus linear income, which is never going to let you retire. Hourly exchange of time for money is never going to build wealth. But recurring income as a second source of income is a happy place for a lot of families right now, especially. So.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. I love it. We'll get that all the information down in the show notes below wherever you're watching, listening. Jeanette, thank you so much for being here. This is great.
Thank you, Brandon. I appreciate it. And tell your wife hi.
Will do. For those of you listening, make sure you subscribe, whatever platform you're on. We want to make sure to continue to bring this show to you every single day of the week, help you grow your business, get to that next step in your career, in your life, one step at a time. We'll see you on tomorrow's episode of Harmonious at Launch. Thanks for being here.